How to Let Go of Attachment and Find Freedom, by a lifelong researcher in Buddhist philosophy. In the quiet depths of the human heart, beneath the clamor of our daily strivings, lies a universal yearning for freedom. We seek it in our careers, in our relationships, in our societies. Yet, after 4 decades dedicated to the study of the Buddha's teachings, I have come to understand that the most profound freedom is not an external condition to be won, but an internal state to be cultivated. The bars of the most confining cage are not outside of us, they are forged within our own minds. And the name of this cage is attachment. The Buddha, in his unparalleled psychological insight, identified attachment, or upadana in the ancient Pali language, as the immediate cause of our deepest suffering. Upadana literally means fuel or clinging. It is the mental and emotional act of grasping onto people, possessions, ideas, and experiences, believing that they are the source of our lasting happiness and security. It is this very act of clinging that binds us to the relentless wheel of anxiety, disappointment, and dis-ease, the cycle the Buddha called samsara. To speak of letting go, therefore, is not to advocate for a cold, passionless, or disengaged existence. This is a common and unfortunate misinterpretation. The path of letting go is not about ceasing to love, ceasing to care, or ceasing to participate fully in the rich tapestry of life. On the contrary, it is about learning to love more purely, to care more wisely, and to engage with life more freely and joyfully. It is the art of unchaining our well-being from the things we cannot control, and in doing so, discovering a source of peace and freedom that is unconditional and unshakable. This article is an in-depth exploration of this liberating art. We will not offer simple platitudes, but will undertake a deep dive into the mechanics of attachment, the profound wisdom that serves as its antidote, and the practical, step-by-step methods for loosening its grip in every area of our lives. This is a journey from the constricted fist of clinging to the open hand of release, a journey into the very heart of freedom itself. Part 1. The nature of the cage, understanding attachment, upadana, and craving, tanha. To dismantle a cage, we must first understand how it is constructed. The Buddha's analysis of attachment is both precise and profound. He taught that attachment, upadana, does not arise from a vacuum. It is fueled by a deeper, more primal energy called tanha, which translates as thirst or craving. This is the relentless, habitual impulse of the mind to seek out what is pleasant and to avoid what is unpleasant. It is the engine that drives our constant wanting and not wanting. This craving manifests in 3 primary channels. Craving for sensual pleasures, kama tanha, the desire for agreeable sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and physical sensations. This is the endless pursuit of the next hit of pleasure. Craving for existence, bhava tanha, the deep-seated ego drive to become, to achieve, to be recognized, and to secure our identity in the world. It's the thirst for status, for control, and for continued existence. Craving for non-existence, vibhava tanha, the desire to annihilate what is painful or unpleasant. This manifests as anger, hatred, aversion, and the desperate wish for a difficult feeling or situation to simply go away. When this engine of tanha, craving, finds an object, a person, a possession, an idea, a status, a pleasant feeling, and latches onto it, that is the moment of upadana, attachment. The mind declares, "This is me, this is mine. My happiness depends on this." The problem, and the reason this process inevitably leads to suffering, dukkha, is that the objects we attach to are, without exception, impermanent and unreliable. We are trying to quench a deep thirst with salt water. The temporary relief it provides only serves to increase the thirst in the long run. We become addicted to the cycle of wanting, getting, and fearing loss. This is the cage, a self-perpetuating cycle of psychological dependency on that which is inherently unstable. Our freedom is held hostage by the next compliment, the next purchase, the next success, or the continued presence of a loved one. When conditions change, as they always do, our world shatters. The act of letting go is the process of consciously and wisely breaking this cycle. Part 2. The key of wisdom. Seeing reality clearly, the 3 marks of existence. Letting go is not an act of brute force. You cannot simply will yourself to stop being attached. Just as you cannot command a clenched fist to relax by shouting at it. The fist relaxes when it understands there is no longer reason to be clenched. Similarly, the mind begins to let go when it sees, with profound clarity, the true nature of the reality it has been grasping. This seeing is the cultivation of wisdom, panya, and it is focused on three fundamental characteristics of all conditioned experience, known as the three marks of existence. 1. Anicca, impermanence, the truth of universal flux. The first and most accessible mark is the truth that everything changes. Nothing is static. Our bodies are in a constant process of renewal and decay. Our emotions are a fleeting parade of joy, sorrow, anger, and peace. Our relationships evolve. Our world is in a ceaseless state of flux. Attachment is a form of resistance to this universal law. It is the futile attempt to freeze frame a pleasant moment, to make a loved one stay the same forever, to solidify our achievements into a permanent trophy. When we truly, deeply, and experientially understand that everything is like a flowing river, the act of grasping onto a single drop of water is revealed to be absurd. Practical contemplation. Actively look for impermanence everywhere. Watch the clouds drift and change shape. Notice how a sound arises and then fades into silence. Observe a thought appear in your mind and then dissolve. By repeatedly bringing your attention to the reality of change, you are training your mind to align with the way things are, rather than fighting for them to be the way you want them to be. This alignment reduces friction and naturally loosens the grip of attachment. 2. Dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, the inherent stress of clinging. The second mark is the truth that relying on impermanent things for our ultimate, lasting happiness is an inherently stressful and unsatisfactory, dukkha, endeavor. Because nothing can provide permanent satisfaction. A mind that is constantly seeking it is doomed to a life of restlessness and disappointment. This is not a pessimistic denial of joy. It is a wise recognition of its nature. We can and should enjoy the pleasant experiences of life, but the problem arises when we cling to them as the necessary condition for our well-being. The joy of a beautiful piece of music is real, but the suffering comes from the desperate wish that it would never end, or the immediate craving to hear it again. Practical contemplation. Notice the subtle stress inherent in your own wanting. Feel the tension that comes with wanting a project to succeed, or wanting someone to approve of you. See for yourself that the very act of clinging contains the seed of anxiety. This direct seeing makes the mind less inclined to grasp, as it begins to associate the act of grasping itself with discomfort rather than with pleasure. 3. Anatta, non-self, the ultimate ground for letting go. This is the most profound and liberating of the three insights. It is the understanding that there is no fixed, solid, independent self, or I, at the center of our experience to do the attaching. What we call our self is a dynamic, interdependent process, a temporary confluence of body, feelings, perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness. This insight cuts the very root of attachment. Attachment is fundamentally an egocentric activity. I want this. I need that. This is mine. But if this I is not a solid, continuous entity, but rather a changing process, then who is it that is clinging? Practical contemplation. Investigate your own experience. When a strong desire arises, ask, who is wanting this? When you feel hurt or offended, ask, what is it that has been hurt? As you look for a solid entity to pin these experiences on, you will find only more changing processes, thoughts, feelings, sensations. This is not an intellectual exercise but a direct investigation. As the conviction in a solid, separate self weakens, the entire project of egocentric clinging begins to unravel. If there is no permanent me to protect and gratify, the motivation for grasping naturally fades away. What is there to attach to? And who is there to be attached? Part 3. The primary tool for loosening the grip, the practice of mindfulness, sati. Wisdom reveals why we should let go, but we need a practical tool that shows us how. That tool is mindfulness, sati. Mindfulness is the capacity to pay attention to the present moment with a kind, non-judgmental awareness. It is the master skill for working directly with the habit of attachment. An attached mind is a mind that is lost in its stories. We aren't just attached to a person. We are attached to our story about that person, our memories of the past and our hopes for the future. We aren't just attached to a possession. We are attached to the story of the security or status it provides. Mindfulness pulls us out of these hypnotic stories and brings us back to the raw, direct reality of the present moment. How mindfulness works to release attachment. It makes the unconscious conscious. Most of our clinging happens on autopilot. We reach for our phone. We snap at our partner. We obsess over a work problem without even realizing the underlying attachment that is driving the behavior. Mindfulness illuminates these moments. It allows us to catch the impulse to cling as it is happening. It creates a space for choice. When mindfulness spots the feeling of clinging, that telltale tightening in the chest, that anxious circling of thoughts, it doesn't try to fight it. It simply observes it with a gentle curiosity. This act of pure observation creates a crucial pause between the arising of the feeling and our habitual reaction to it. In this pause lies our freedom. We can see the wave of attachment coming and choose not to be swept away by it. It reveals the impermanence of desire. When we sit with a craving mindfully, without either indulging it or suppressing it, we make a remarkable discovery. The craving itself is impermanent. It arises with great intensity, demanding to be satisfied. But if we just watch it as pure sensation in the body, it eventually crests and fades away on its own. Every time we do this, we are retraining the brain. We are teaching it that we do not have to be a slave to every desire. This builds immense inner strength and weakens the habit of attachment at its root. Cultivating the habit of mindfulness. Formal sitting meditation. Dedicate daily time to the practice of sitting and paying attention to your breath. When the mind wanders into a story of attachment, wanting something, resenting something, the instruction is simple. Gently notice where the mind has gone, and kindly guide it back to the present moment reality of the breath. This is the fundamental training in letting go. Repeated thousands of times. Mindfulness of urges. Throughout the day, practice noticing the arising of small urges. The urge to check your email. The urge for a snack when you're not hungry. The urge to interrupt someone. Instead of immediately acting, can you pause for just a few seconds and feel the raw energy of the urge in your body? Watch it, breathe with it, and see what happens. This is micro-dosing the practice of letting go. Part 4. The path of active release, practical strategies for letting go. With the foundation of wisdom and the tool of mindfulness, we can begin to apply the practice of letting go to the specific domains of our lives where clinging causes the most suffering. 1. Letting go of material things. Our consumer culture is a massive engine for creating attachment. The practice here is not about asceticism, but about breaking the false promise that happiness can be found in acquisition. Practice generosity. Dana. Giving is the active form of letting go. Make it a habit to give your time, your resources, and your possessions. Pay close attention to the mental state. Notice how the act of giving can bring a sense of joy and lightness that far surpasses the fleeting pleasure of getting. Contemplate the true cost. Before buying something new, reflect on its true cost, not just in money, but in the mental space it will occupy, the time required to maintain it, and the anxiety of potentially losing it. Is it truly adding to your well-being? Simplicity. Consciously simplify your environment. A cluttered home often reflects a cluttered mind. Letting go of physical possessions we no longer need can create a corresponding sense of inner space and freedom. 2. Letting go of outcomes and expectations. We are often deeply attached to how we think things should be. We want our projects to succeed, our vacations to be perfect, and our lives to follow a specific script. This attachment to outcomes is a major source of anxiety and disappointment. Fall in love with the process. Shift your focus from the goal to the path. Whether you are writing a book, running a business, or raising a child, bring your full, loving attention to the daily process itself. Pour your effort into the quality of your actions in this moment. And practice letting go of your obsessive concern for the results. Embrace uncertainty. The mind craves certainty. But life is inherently uncertain. Practice being comfortable with not knowing. When you find yourself anxiously planning for every contingency, gently bring your mind back to the reality of the present. Trust in your ability to meet whatever arises when it actually arises. 3. Letting go in relationships, loving freely. This is often the most challenging arena. Letting go in relationships does not mean ceasing to love or care. It means purifying our love of the poisons of clinging, possessiveness, and control. Attachment says, I love you, and I need you to be a certain way to make me happy. True love says, I love you, and I want you to be happy. Give freedom. The greatest gift you can give a loved one is their freedom. Let go of the need to control them, to change them, or to have them live up to your expectations. Respect their autonomy and trust their path. Love the person, not the projection. Be mindful of the tendency to love your idea of a person rather than the real, imperfect, and changing human being in front of you. Practice seeing and accepting them as they are in each moment. Practice compassionate detachment. This is especially important in difficult relationships. It means maintaining a warm and open heart, wishing for the other person to be free from the suffering that causes them to act harmfully, while at the same time letting go of your attachment to them changing. It is the wisdom to care deeply without getting entangled in their drama. 4. Letting go of views and opinions. We are often deeply attached to our beliefs, our opinions, and our identities as being right. This attachment is a major source of conflict, both internally and externally. Hold your views lightly. Recognize that your views are conditioned and subject to change. They are not you. Practice listening to opposing viewpoints with a genuine curiosity, not to win an argument, but to understand. Let go of the need to be right. Notice the ego gratification that comes from proving a point. Can you let go of this need? This practice fosters humility, openness, and a much more peaceful way of engaging with others. 5. Letting go of the self. This is the ultimate practice of letting go. It is the release of our attachment to the story of me, our identity, our past, our future, our self-image. Observe the storyteller. Use mindfulness to watch the mind as it constructs and defends this story of me. See it as a creative but ultimately fictional process. Embrace humility. Let go of the need to be special. Find joy in simple, anonymous acts of service. The less we are preoccupied with the project of me, the more energy and awareness we have available for the world. Part 5. The fruit of freedom, cultivating equanimity, upekkha. As the habit of letting go deepens and matures, it blossoms into the sublime quality of equanimity, upekkha. Equanimity is the spacious, balanced, and resilient mind that is the hallmark of true freedom. It is the ability to meet all of life's experiences, the pleasant and the painful, the gain and the loss, the praise and the blame, with a steady and unshakable heart. This is not a state of numb indifference. The equanimous mind feels everything with great sensitivity. The difference is that its happiness is no longer dependent on having pleasant feelings, and its peace is no longer shattered by unpleasant ones. It has found a deep inner balance that is not disturbed by the changing winds of fortune. It is the peace that comes from having let go of our war with reality. It is the mind that has finally come to rest. Conclusion. The open hand of freedom. The path from the bondage of attachment to the liberation of letting go is the central journey of the spiritual life. It is a path of profound courage, wisdom, and compassion. It requires us to turn and face the very habits of our mind that cause our suffering and to gently, patiently, and persistently train ourselves in a new way of being. To let go is not to lose anything of value. It is to lose only our chains. It is to discover that true happiness is not found in grasping and holding, but in an open-handed engagement with the beautiful, mysterious, and ever-changing flow of life. By understanding the nature of the cage, by using the key of wisdom and the tool of mindfulness, and by actively practicing release in every area of our lives, we systematically dismantle the prison of our own making. In its place, we discover not an empty void, but a boundless freedom, a radiant compassion, and the deep, unshakable peace that has been our true nature all along.